Do what should be done, avoid what shouldn't. Xiefeng. Every time I step into the shower, I hear the sound of mice scurrying across the ceiling. On several occasions, I've even heard the squeaking of baby mice, confirming that a pair of mice have settled down to raise a large family, enjoying their domestic bliss. Ideally, I should find a way to drive them out, but considering that their mischief is limited to stealing dog food and that they haven't caused other troubles, I've taken no action so far and let them roam freely. However, I have issued a warning. You must know what to do and what not to do. Nature has granted you survival skills and the means to live. You have the right to exist, and I cannot deprive you of that. But there is a principle: you can build a nest on my ceiling, raise your young, and even make some noise at times. I won't hold you accountable for that. But if you overbreed, dig holes everywhere, and damage my home, I will take measures. Either I'll get a cat or lay poison everywhere. The choice is yours. The mice may have sensed this warning, or perhaps they are completely oblivious to my intentions. Regardless, if they act within bounds, they can survive safely, but the moment they grow reckless, disaster will befall them. If we compare my attitude toward the mice to that of the greatest creator's attitude toward humanity, this analogy could serve as a cautionary tale. Humanity must remain vigilant, knowing what should and should not be done. If we act recklessly and indulge our desires, who knows when a cat or poisons might suddenly appear? Could the Indian Ocean tsunami have been such a cat? Humanity as a whole must act with restraint, and so must each individual. Yuan Shikai, who disregarded moral bounds, was reviled for generations, while George Washington, who exercised restraint, was celebrated for centuries. Good fortune should not be enjoyed alone, power should not be monopolized, benefits should not be hoarded, and the world should not be ruled by one person alone. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China, achieved greatness but failed to exercise restraint. His infamous burning of books and burying of scholars alive earned him the scorn of intellectuals for millennia. Heaven has its own scales of justice. No matter how ignorant or unaware a person may be, their heart holds its own measure. One may enjoy temporary success, but it is impossible to fool people forever. We may deceive others in some matters but not in all. Whether president or shepherd, everyone must know what to do and what not to do. We may escape human punishment, but we cannot escape the laws of the Tao. Those with power, those who have opportunities to benefit themselves, those basking in glory and praise, and those who secretly mock others for their ignorance must all learn to stop at the right point and exercise restraint. As members of Lifechanyuan, we especially must know what to do and what not to do. We must act as if walking a tightrope or treading on thin ice. For things we don't understand, we should stay silent, not out of indifference, but out of caution. It's okay if we don't produce masterpieces, as long as we don't create garbage. It's okay if we can't maintain peace and harmony, as long as we don't cause chaos. It's okay if we can't help others, as long as we don't harm them. Lifechanyuan itself must also have its boundaries. As humanity's spiritual and emotional sanctuary, it must focus on matters of the spirit and soul. In areas like politics, administration, markets, and systems, we should remain uninvolved. In these fields, we are amateurs, ignorant and unqualified. Even if we have some knowledge, we cannot monopolize every good cause. We must leave vast spaces for others to thrive and shine. All things in the world must operate within limits. The earth can only orbit obediently within the range of gravitational forces. Should it deviate from its path, it would cease to exist. Be it tigers and leopards, gazelles and elephants, mice and cockroaches, or sparrows and insects, all can only operate within certain boundaries. Exceed those boundaries, and disaster is inevitable. Humans cannot conquer heaven, they can only align with it. Humans cannot reject heaven, they can only follow it. Though I know little of politics, the teachings of saints have revealed that a great leader governs by adapting to circumstances and going with the flow. You the great controlled floods not by blocking them but by channeling the water. A reservoir must have a spillway to ensure the long-term safety of its dam. Confucius said, "At 50, I understood the will of heaven." I am not far from 50, yet I have not yet grasped the will of heaven. What I do understand, however, is that to become a sage, one must know what to do and what not to do.